other places. Hi, everybody. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you for joining our live show we do every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. We may be switching off the time pretty soon a little bit, but maybe go half an hour sooner. But we'll keep you posted on that. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm fixing up the mic right now for those listening to the podcast. We come on the show in the last couple of years, and we talk about U.S. immigration. We take your questions live from YouTube, Facebook, not Facebook anymore. I think that's stopping, but LinkedIn, Twitter or X, Instagram, and TikTok. And we can only answer general immigration stuff in an educational fashion. We can't provide individual legal guidance, but this is a place to come and see what's going on in the immigration world. It's very complicated, very difficult, and we see the difficulties people have every day in this game. And so, we just come out here, help out, give some information. The main thing I want to say, too, is if you're interested in a marriage green card or a fiance case, the first place to start is download our 40-plus page guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com, www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Just go to that site to fill out your information and get a free download. Irfan says, hello, so how are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for coming on. And thank all our regulars and new people come in. We always have a bunch of regulars and a lot of new people that join and get into it. Abdullah says, it's 15 months too soon to file mandamus, marriage-based application inside the U.S. If you're doing adjustment of status, 15 months isn't too bad. You could file mandamus, may not be worth it. By the time the case goes in front of the judge, USCIS might have adjudicated already. So it depends on the facts of your case. If it's LPR versus citizen, if there are issues, or if there's a reason why you're in such a rush, got to see what's going on. Zaya follows up, hello, I have a question regarding I-751 rule conditions waiver. Well, give your question a shot. We'll give general educational stuff here. Why does CARE take so long to process a case? I don't know. Kirky said, if you owe state taxes, can you get citizenship done? No, you can't be owing taxes. You have to have some sort of payment plan. Abdullah says, thank you, sir. You're welcome. Processing time for I-61A, 6 months, 4 years. User says, hi, how safe is post-conviction relief in Ciudad Juarez? That's too case specific. Ciudad Juarez is not too safe on a lot of factors, but this is too deep. Post-conviction relief. This is like, you got to talk with the attorney in private about that. Dreammark says, how long does a fiance visa take? It depends. Probably 2 years to get them in the U.S., a year and a half to 2 years. And then after that, or maybe more. And then after that, they got to file for green card still. I don't handle CARE Act or Afghani cases and that kind of stuff, so I wouldn't be able to help you here. Afghan flag. Banky says, while waiting for my 10-year green card, can I apply for my citizenship? If you satisfy the requirements and you've been married living with a U.S. citizen for 3 years, yeah. Andrew says, how's the visa bulletin going? Check it out. Google visa bulletin. I haven't looked at it. I think probably a new one came out recently, or just came out a couple weeks ago. But there's been some move-ups, but it just depends on the cases. There's 40 different kinds of cases we could talk about, so it's not something I just stop and talk about right now. Alana says, does the work authorization and travel document come separately, usually on the same time? For the last couple of years, they come separately. Work authorization comes, and you may get travel document later. God bless Child says, can someone get citizenship if they're separated from the person they got the green card from? Yes, as long as the marriage is real and they have all the stuff, they just have to wait for 5 years instead of doing it for 3 years. Can you appeal a denial for K1? Well, it depends on what the denial reason is. So should I bring my tax returns to N400 interview? The lawyer answer supposed to give is yes, but in practice, usually you don't want it, but it's possible to ask for it, especially if you're doing a 3-year marriage-based citizenship expedite. Zayed says, should I use statements of joint bank account we have, even if there are no new statements after 2-year green card? This is 2 case specific, Zayed. That's guiding me how to file the case. I need to review all your bank statement history, review it relative to your other documents that are there, what other evidence you have, and what issues exist in your case. I can't just say this one document's good and I haven't even read it. So I'm not able to give that kind of case-specific advice. Hi, Jen says, hey, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. Let's go to Instagram, see if any questions there. Maliki says, I got my 10-year green card 6 months ago, but I got divorced last month. If I apply for M400, it's going to be a problem because I got divorced. Not necessarily. They may look into the divorce, so you want to prep for that and have a strong case to be able to show the marriage is real, but it ended divorce. So it'll probably be okay, but you want to be prepared to answer those questions with documents. At the very least, consult with a good immigration attorney or couple to talk about it, to plan it out. You don't have to have a lawyer, probably better to have a lawyer, but just make sure you have evidence of relationship. That's the main thing. Irfan says, I have a question out of K1. I did my interview at U.S. Consulate in Canada. I forgot my police certificate checked and told me to send your passport back with the police background check. I'm waiting 2 weeks. When are they going to reply to me? Whenever they get around to it, really. There's no fixed time. Yeah, all these questions about timelines. This is but as much as I could give you as a we'll see. Nana says, "Why does cases take longer to decide mean? It means they have too much work to do, and they can't get to you." Abdul Salam says, "I have an approved I-130, but my I-485 is still pending. It could be they're two different applications. They're related, but they're their own things." Kaiden says, "How long does it take to get notice that they got my I-130 petition? Usually a week or two." Gonzalez says, "I got my wife's green card approved last week, 5 months total, military and political place. Got my wife's green card approved last week, 5 months total, military place." Oh, awesome, Gonzalez. Thanks for doing that. Are you a regular listener or watcher? At least congrats on the green card. Alessio says, if you get abandoned by a spouse while in the process of getting a green card, what happens? You lose a chance potentially. You got to find other ways of getting a green card. Karina says, my appeals were denied. Can I continue to fight my case of pending deportation? I don't know if this is too case specific. Leo says, is this still up to 15 years for a U.S. citizen to apply for siblings overseas? Yeah, probably longer, frankly. Abu Salam says, what happens if my case has been vacated and remains unscheduled? I don't know. I gotta know about your case. JP says, can I go home to South Africa if I-40 is filed? There's no I-40, so I'm not sure what exactly. You may say I-90, but does that mean you're renewing your green card? Did you do the proper renewal? Is it I-751 or I-90? Do you mean some other form? I don't know. Chosen says, I sent an application last year, March. I was married to a U.S. citizen. I received nothing. You should have got a receipt at least. If it was last March, I don't know. I don't know details of your case. I can't really say. Karina said, asked, my appeals are denied. Okay, can't I continue to fight my case? I don't know what kind of case you have. I can't answer that. What about for parents overseas? I'm not sure what the question initially was. TD says, does USCIS notify you online before sending a work permit? It can sometimes. It's not consistent. Mokhtar says, hey, sir, why since 2020 they keep sending me I-797? I came 2018, applied for removal condition 201 something. I don't know. I don't know your case and what you've been doing. Judah says, hey, everybody. Hey to you too. Okay. Ellie says, if someone overstays their visa, can her boyfriend marry him even though he's still a green card? They get married and they can start the case. But if you overstay the visa, you're out of status, and a person is out of status. A person married to a green card can't fix being out of status by marrying a green card. They have to be a U.S. citizen. So you got to look into that when the green card holds to be a U.S. citizen. Make sure there's no other issues. What does it mean, administrative processing? It means they're working on your case in some form or fashion. They should give you a notice that says what they need, or at least, something that says just wait. Fee says, how long does it take you an appointment after being documented qualified? The embassy, it varies from the embassy in your case. Latank says, how long is a typical marriage-based visa taking if I were married to a U.S. citizen? Well, there are different kinds of marriage-based cases, whether you're a green card holder or you're married to a U.S. citizen. There are different timelines. It depends on if you're in the United States or outside the United States, what country you're born, what status you have in the United States, what your background is, inadmissibility-wise, any criminal history, health issues, all misrepresentation issues, and what country or embassy you're from, what city. So how long is a typical marriage case? What do you mean by typical? And in reality, none of them are really typical. Says, as an Afghan SIV applicant, I don't handle those kind of cases, so I recommend contacting another firm. Naweeb says, hi, can you apply for parents if you have a green card? No, you have to be a citizen to apply for parents. Azmi says, as an SIV applicant, I don't handle SIV cases, so I don't want to advise on that. Kulu says, I'm under SIJ. SIJ, SIJs, and special SIVs. I don't handle those kind of cases. So, that's that. And we got some filtered comments on what they said. All right, let's go back to the main stuff. All right, well, we have a bunch of people here today. It's ups and downs. I think the software is being slow, frankly, because I see some lag happening. But thank you for joining. The immigration system, the news today is that President Biden wants to shut down or limit asylum applications coming to the border and what happens when people come in. I haven't read the details. It's not the case type I handle, so it's not something that comes up in my practice on a day-to-day basis. But it's a wild situation at the border. We don't really know how to deal with it, and there's going to deal with different ways. It's kind of a bizarre situation. Anna says, I have an H-1B status and AOS and AP pending. Can I travel on H-1B visa? You can. You can. Make sure your H-1B remains valid, extended. You have proof of employment, pay stubs when you come back in, stuff like that. But it's possible. I have clients to do that. Sometimes their green card even gets approved when they're outside the country. And so then they're like, how do we come back in? Because they're not technically H-1B holders anymore. But you just get to the airport, the U.S. customs officer will fix it. Now, you don't want to be outside, or if you're H-1B, it's one thing. But if you have a spouse or dependents, H-4 cases, you don't want them to be outside the case to prove that causes a lot of problems. Millie says, how long is the marriage green card take in California? Again, it depends on where the person's background is, really, and what your U.S. citizen or green card holder. Can I go to Hawaii when I only have Social Security and work permit? You don't necessarily, you need ID to get on a plane, but you don't need to have immigration status to travel within the United States typically. But there's risks, you might deal with a customs officer. The sponsor, Bishnu says the sponsored spouse got a 10-year green card instead of a 2-year green card. Is there any changes happen? No, they make mistakes like that pretty frequently. You have to make sure you file before the 2 years expires, even though they mistakenly gave you a 10-year green card. It's on you to catch that. And just be aware of that and just act like it didn't happen and just do the case. Slider says, my trial documents are expected to take longer than the green card. Yeah, that's typical. Shining says, I-130 status can't take long. Expected. What can I do? Parent USC. You can try expedite if there's a reason. And it says your H4 is a problem. If your H1B spouse is outside the U.S., the case gets approved, and the H4 cases are still pending for green card, the H4 people fall out. Their adjustment of status gets denied. It's a nasty thing that happens. Jay says, I'm joining the military. How fast the process of giving parents papers? Nothing's fast. You just got to do it, and you may have a fast case, you may have a slow case. We have no control over that. Nikki says, if you're out of status on a J1, can you travel from state to state? Again, there's no requirements for having status, travel from state to state, but never know what's going to possible, what's going to happen in America. Are there any risks of crossing the border while on a visa? Any risk? Yeah, there's always a risk. There's an admissibility statute that has like 101 reasons they could ban you. And then it says, I'm on an F1 OPT Pakistan. I'm going to take a loan to change status to E2. Is it eligible loan money? So you need to talk to the immigration attorney in private if you need 2Ks. Loan money is not impossible, but it gets very complicated. First of all, the assets of the company, that's the E2 company, cannot be the collateral on the loan. And secondly, you have to have an official loan document. Either the money is gifted to you, but if it's a loan, you need to have like formal loan paperwork. If it's from a formal bank, and you'll have agreements. If it's an informal loan kind of thing, you still need to have formal paperwork to show responsibility that you're liable for it. It gets harder and harder because it's more paperwork for a loan, describing it and explaining it to the officer. And, they may get it or may not, who knows? So there's issues involved, but if you want to do this business and a loan makes sense and is good, then you give it a shot. Tali says, last time you advised me to apply for a second I-130, my I-45, so I do it. Thanks. I don't advise anybody here. So just to be clear, it's educational purposes only. No one's a client. But yeah, typically if someone, it depends on the case type. With the visa bulletin going crazy right now, the I-130 becomes less valuable. But it's something we do, especially married U.S. citizen. You have to file an I-24. That we just do both and see what happens. So I wish you the best. He was posted on the timelines. Kay says, how long does it take to get a green card on U visa that's been approved for 2 years? I don't know. Mo says, so my spouse is documented to qualify. NBC has 6 months, still no appointment. Yeah, I don't know about timelines. Can I apply for citizenship at 2 years and 9 months? So it's really 90 days for 3 years if you've been married and living with a U.S. citizen since getting the green card, or at least in the last 3 years or 2.5 years, 9 months if you're doing it that quick. Mountain says, how can I get my cousin to come visit me from Iraqi Kurdistan? I know you got to apply for tourist visa and see what happens. He has to apply for tourist visa, or he or she. Jamark says, can a family visit U.S. using visitors? Yeah, they can. It's up to the customs officer whether they'll let them in. Laura says, how long's I-601 taking, not I-601A at same time? Elle said, tried to expedite I-765, but no response. What I do? I'm also a teacher. Call USCIS again. Afghan Queen says, hello, I'm a citizen. How long my husband case take? I apply for him under my name. It's not clear. It'll take 1 to 4 years if you're a U.S. citizen. Selene says, filing, it could be longer too. Selene says, filing for my mom, but there's a letter difference on our birth certificate. Would it be denied? It's, it just adds variables to some offline officer. It could be denied or it could be approved. I don't care. Usually we try to get people to fix it, but if you fix it, they may reissue a new birth certificate and USCIS will have problems that you have a newly issued birth certificate, even though you're older. So you got to see what country you're from, what the reissuance looks like on the birth certificate or whatever documents they are that have the name issue, and we try to fix those up. If it possible, it doesn't create more problems. Tony Rose says, I have not gotten my results after 2 months of green card marriage interview. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes it takes that long. Sometimes good. Sometimes nothing. Sometimes it's a problem. I don't know. Is extraordinary talent visa still available right now? Yes. James, can my mom visit the U.S. via tourist visa? They should try. Chosen said they send for pictures and statements and bills, both names. If you don't send, least will it cause? Would that send? I don't know what you're saying, man. You just got to answer it properly. Quickie says, which state has the fast processing times for removal conditions? It doesn't work based on states. It's really case by case. Sarah says, how is the I-130 spouse going to approve? It varies. Okay, we got a lot of these same questions and a lot of timeline questions. I'm gonna have to skip through all these timeline questions, unfortunately. What's the immigration process for Canadians buying business in the United States? Well, you could do an E2 visa. At my website, go to jklaw.com/E2 or just Google search JQK Law E2. We have a real detailed breakdown of the E2 program. KS says, what kind of evidence do you suggest sending for citizenship married to a citizen? Download our guide. We have a guide that has a list of these. Go to www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com, marriageimmigrationlaw.com, and has all these answers. A lot of your answers people are asking are in that guide. You just got to download it. It's quickly easy findable. Sarah says, how long? Okay, we don't answer questions about timeline anymore. May I ask you how much is your PF? I'm not sure what a PF is. I'm not sure. Good word or bad word. Okay, Tony Rose, please stop asking. I'm going to have to block you. Just way too many of the same questions. It's not polite. Let's see, mute account. Okay. Big Mac says, I'm on an F1. I'm on an L1A. My company did not want to sponsor. I could do it myself. It's not impossible, but you got to try to get probably an NIW Extraordinary Ability Visa or an EB1A or something like that, or Green Card Lottery, get married. Power says, we got a DS5535 form and don't know what to do with it. The embassy should give you guidance on that. Can writing OAW fee exemption I-130 apply for who is born in Afghanistan? I don't know. I don't handle that kind of case stuff. I don't know. Sarah says, my case I-130 is transferable to Potomac. Does that mean anything? Not really. I mean, they have no control. Just wait to see what happens. Big Mac says, thanks. You're welcome. Kunek says, how long can it take to have a response on my application F2H4 change of status? There's no timelines. I think you do pre and processing on those now. I'm not sure. Mo says, my parents overstayed on a visa. I turned 21 this year. Can I get a green card? Well, you got the basic facts for it, but schedule a consultation with their office and we'll see. Kunek says, how does it take? I don't know timelines. Do I need to finalize divorce before applying for U.S. visa? Spouse, now U.S. citizen. Not particularly. It depends on what kind of visa you're applying for, but it doesn't matter that much. It's probably better to be divorced because if you're married to a U.S. citizen, they'll be more pessimistic about issuing a visa. Farrah says, they told us to wait and did not give us an estimate. I don't know what to tell you. Just got to wait. Sorry about it. I meant the professional fee for helping me to file adjustment of status. Well, I don't know your case. Schedule a consult and we'll take it from there. You can do an intake session with an intake specialist, and maybe they'll give us enough information for us to give you a price breakdown. So go to jqklaw.com/contact, jqklaw/contact, and message us. Fatima says, I applied for my asylum. I don't do asylum, so I can't help you with that. What about DACA? What about it? Gary says, what's the processing time? I don't know. Johnny said, do I need a tax return for F100 interview? You better take it. Why is I-130 taking so long? Call USCIS and ask them. I'm not in charge of that. Bally says, hi, sir, excellent job. Thank you so much, Bally. I appreciate it. Let's go to Instagram. How long does the fiance visa take? It takes too long. Badiot said, I went to my country and came back under 3 months to the same state and address. So can I apply for F100? There's more to this process than just like you go in your country and not being outside for too much. So by Batio Head Heed, we'd have to review your case to see what's going on. How to speed up administrative processing? Maybe file a lawsuit. Joyce says, my case, adjustment of status was transferred to another office. Is that good or bad? It's not clear. There's no way to know. Thank you. Irene says, thank you. I'll try to contact you. You're welcome. Jay says, how long is the J1 student visa? I don't know how. I can't. Anything question about how long or stuff I can't answer. El Diablo says, I've been waiting for 3 years and nothing was processed. I don't know what kind of case you have. I don't know what to tell you. Keanu says, thought my green card got lost in post, applied for I-90, but now received my green card. What should I do with the I-90? Just keep it going. Just maybe notify them that it wasn't lost, so I don't think you lied to them. Just contact them and see what they say. Ellie also, I haven't heard anything. I'm not sure what you're saying. Con says, I have a B1, B2 visit, and I want to change status to green card. We got to see if there's a possibility for a change status green card. My eyes look like different. Let's see what's going on. Is the I-130 not being approved? It just, they're super backed up. And so they end up not getting approved for advanced parole. Range permits could take a long time. So that's the nature of immigration system right now. D-Ray says, hey to you too. Thanks for joining us. Ask your questions. If you're interested in a fiance or marriage case, really just download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. That's the first place you should start. Go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com. That's marriageimmigrationlaw.com. So you get your questions, the basics, what you need to do to get the green card process started and take it from there. Con says, do you do this kind of case? There's no case there, just saying green card applying for. I don't know what kind of green card. So if you're trying to file for asylum and then green card, no, I can't help you. If you want to do an EB5 investor, we're not taking those cases. But if you're extraordinary ability and you're really good extraordinary ability, you're naturalist waiver, maybe. If you're getting married to a U.S. citizen, maybe a green card, but probably citizen, yeah. But we don't know what's going on in your case, so I can't tell you whether I take this kind of case or not. We schedule a consultation. I learn all your facts and tell you what's going on, how you fit within the system, and then you take it from there. Should you upload bona fide evidence without RFE? I don't want to make a comment on that because the whole online system is opaque. I mean, we don't know what's going on. It's not transparent. Sasha says, I submitted my application for naturalization citizen 6 months ago. Still hear anything? I don't know. Con says, like business conversations. Schedule a consult and we'll see. El Diablo says, will people start receiving DACA documents this year, like work permits? I'm not sure what you mean. You could always apply for DACA if you have a DACA already and renew it, but new DACA workers are not having it. Biden didn't do anything to change the DACA situation at all, and that's that. Shish says, F1, how to change the work permit. Well, you get OPT, and maybe depending on what country you're from, you get an E2. That's your own business, so some stuff. If you're a Canadian, you maybe get a TN. If you're Chilean, you get or Australian, or from Singapore, they have special work authorization too. Mia says, how does it take to get called for court if they come through Mexico? I don't know. I don't handle court cases. Sarah says, can the beneficiary pass a medical exam if they collect disability due to arthritis? That doesn't affect anything. Hadia says, I got my biometrics. When will I get appointment citizenship? Depends on the office and what they want to do. What happens after customer reviews your case? After customs reviews your case, I'm not sure. Customs, the airport people, and why are they reviewing a case? What kind of case is it? What? So it's not clear. Con says, I want to change as an investor. I already have a business in the United States. Okay, schedule consultation. We'll look into it. jklaw.com/contact. Sandy says, my EAD and I-130 approved, but still waiting for I-485. How long? No, it's not clear. Jerry says, what can I do to get my parents' citizenship? They have 4 U.S. children. Youngest is 17, oldest 23. Well, if they enter lawfully, then the 23-year-old U.S. citizen can apply for them. If they didn't enter lawfully, we got to find to see if a waiver is possible or some sort of loophole, 245I or something. So we got to analyze your case, Jerry. Schedule a consultation, and we'll take it from there. Miss Ray says, how soon do you apply for K3 visa after 130? We file them together or immediately afterwards once you get the I-130 receipt. Con says, thanks, you're welcome. Margarita, is there normally a fee if you decide you want to cancel a case? No, I don't think so. Alicia says, do you know if there are any backlogs in Rio for interview after DQ? I don't have any active Brazilian CP cases outside the U.S. right now, so I don't know that particular question. I'm doing a bunch of adjustments for Brazilians, though. How long is the NBC taking? I don't know how long it's going to take. Asala says, how long does it take? I can't answer a question about timelines. All right. Delay says, Frederick says, what is F2B movement prediction for July? I don't have predictions. D-Ray says, any advice on moving to New York without having to get a job with the man? Yeah, learn the skill as much as possible and sell it on the internet. El Clausen says, is that a problem if my address is wrong on my marriage certificate? Not per se. It depends on how wrong it is and why it's wrong if you were really living, because you're going to have to write, if you're doing like a marriage case or a lot of cases, they want your address history. So if your marriage address doesn't match, you have the reason why. Some people may use their mailing address or their parents' address. You have to have a reason why, so it doesn't look like you're committing fraud or something. Marcel, I mean, no one's going to pay attention probably, but you want to have some reason. And so we'd have to talk about that. Marcel says, how long does it really take to get I-751 approved? Thanks, John. 6 months to 3 years, 2 years. El Clausen says, is that a problem with marriage? So I explained that one pretty thoroughly. Are they sending, after they sent for wedding pictures, Bill Simmons, what's the next steps? I don't know. Just get a decision from them or an interview or more information. Probably an interview. Cheryl Khan says, what if I write on I-130, I didn't work and I worked, that will be a problem? It depends on, depends if you're married to US. It could be a problem. Yeah, if you work with authorization and you don't have like one of the exceptions for it, it could be a problem. Now, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, that really fixes it most of the time, unless you like use a fake, passport to claim you're a U.S. citizen and get that job or something like that. Kalia says, why mine is taking 1 year? I don't know. Only Cypriot says, do you think EB3 recurrent for next 4? I don't know what's going to be current. I can't judge or guess it. All right. Miss Ray says, how soon do I answer that one? T says, how should I bring proof that I did not have intent to stay in the U.S. to the interview? They don't really get into that, so I got to see what's going on. Usually I have return tickets, job back home, an explanation of what happened. I need to stay, but I don't typically ask. Yasmin says, is medical compulsory for approval of green card? Yes. Unless there's waivers possible, it's very hard. Sunny says, my I-130 is approved, but still getting I-485 is pending. Why? Category stand? I don't know. Now, Yasmin asked about medical compulsory. I think for asylees, maybe they have exceptions, but generally, you got to do medical. Kai says, what should I do? I don't know. Schedule consultation. Punjab says, asylee, I don't handle any of those. Deportation, asylee, or I-360. Khalida says, because yesterday they should send me a letter. I don't know, Khalida. jklaw.com/contact. Yasmin, you're welcome. Kai says, can you send me a phone number? No, go to jqklaw.com/contact, jqklaw.com/contact, and fill that contact us page. Jardo says, is the processing time to get a green card for parents if I'm military shorter? If yes, how long? The timelines just are inconsistent. So nothing, I can't say anything reliable. Marshall says, my wife, she applied for brother since 2011. Nothing moving except approval. Yeah, it takes a while. Sheriff's Con, I'm married a U.S. citizen, but I work on cash before. Now, if they interview it and they ask I work, should I say no? Sheriff's Con, I can't, you're not my client. I can't come on the internet and tell you what to say at an interview without having knowing anything about you. This is something you got to talk with the attorney in private on. If you knew something was not going to be correct on application, you got to talk to a lawyer, analyze it first for sending it in. And if you're going to do an interview or get approval, just talk to a lawyer in private first and just see what's going on, or at least talk to a couple. We have more questions about asylum. I don't handle asylum. Our firm does handle asylum. Mon says, how long is I-130? Just varies. Zachary says, hi, my daughter's case got approved I-130. All in documents, embassy. How long for interview in Hong Kong? However long it takes them. Callie says, file for my all these timeline questions are popping up. I don't have answers on any timelines. There's no honest answers about timelines. D-Ray says, I'm self-employed in London. I am a coding business, but I want to move to the USA. But all the visas want me to have a job, but I have a business. Yeah, if you're, it depends on what passport you have. So say you're a UK citizen, you can start your small business in the United States using the E2 visa. So E2 investor visa. On our website, we have a jqklaw.com. I'm not sure what it is, but we have this page. If you probably find it on Google, but not going through the website, because it's kind of hidden page, but it breaks down like the whole E2 process, and you'll have a good idea what's going on. Monther says, DV lottery winner, Syrian born, but also Canadian citizen, concerned of getting DS5535, missing on a visa. That is a possibility, unfortunately. Hopefully you have a low number. That's that. Janio says, what happens after my asylum case dismissed on good cause? I don't know. I don't handle asylum case or court cases. Sunny says, if they approve I-130, it's not clear what it means. Just kind of have to wait and see what happens. There's no fixed answers, all this stuff. It's very fluid. Leslie says, what happens when the biometric appointment is missed? The letter wasn't sent till you had to call them and tell them it was missed to reschedule a new one. It's usually pretty flexible about it. Okay, let's wait for some new questions to come in. Hopefully not more timeline questions, because as y'all know, I can't answer those kind of stuff. We only got a couple minutes left. Hey says, will divorce affect citizenship application process if I apply on a 5-year residency basis? Not by itself, that's fine, but you got to make sure, like, if you got your green card based on marriage, they may look into it to see if it was a legitimate marriage or not. Looking for, Benji says, Canadian visitor visa for almost 6 months. How long before I can go again? There's no time limit. It depends on the officer you deal with. Even Asili came a year ago through P1. I just applied for a green card. How long does it take to get? I don't know. Cyrus says, is there a way to expedite the scheduling wait time IR1 after documents are qualified? I've heard it. I was saying like 2 years. If you have a reason to expedite, you can make a request for being faster. They're denying most of them, but you give it a shot. Unfortunately, it's really bad. If you just recently became documentally qualified, I would try potentially changing it to Armenia. That's that. D-Ray says, top tips to get not denied E2 visa when applying for the UK passport. Well, okay, UK is a specific situation, the E2, where they say you have to live on mainland. So they don't always enforce it, but that's one thing. There'll be a little bit strict there in the UK about the investment being real and how much money is needed for investment. So the more money you have to invest, the better it is, because they could be skeptical of it. And at the end of the day, you have to be just prepared to present yourself as a business person, like one of these shows, Shark Tanks, or all these different shows they have where entrepreneurs go and they talk about their business, and we have investors that come in on TV, see these shows. It's kind of like that. So you have to have a really good setup. You have to do the investment first and show proof it was investment, that the money was lawfully earned and sourced, all that kind of stuff. And just take it from there. Les says, some have said ASC will take walk-ins as long as letters presented. Is it true? It used to be 99% true, Leslie. But recently, after COVID, they got more strict. Was 70K enough? It depends on your business and luck. Didn't he say you look like a lawyer? Yeah. Take a vacation. Yeah, I could tell what you're saying. Yeah, it's I have a little kids, no vacation time. There's no vacation when you have little kids with you. Iso says, can a green card holder bring their parents to USA? No. I mean, the parents could get a tourist visa, but that's that. Someone says, I'm a U.S. citizen. My wife is DACA holder. We've been married for 2.5 years. It's been 13 months since I applied for a green card. Well, if you're DACA holder, you need to have a lawful entry or advanced parole return or something like that. So it could take that 2.5 years. 13 months isn't that long, but you got to see your case. Sometimes it takes a year and a half. Sometimes not even 2 years. It's not that unheard of. Can we get sponsor visa faster? I'm not sure what a sponsor visa is and what that you're trying to get faster. Okay, we got questions about C9. Okay, how long is C9? So when it comes to work permits, C9, if you get to apply for work permit based on adjustment of status, typically are taking like 4 to 6 weeks to get them approved for most cases, but every time once in a while they go longer. So right now that's just that's happening. How far are they working on the backlogs? There's all the embassy backlogs. You have their own one. Each civil service center has one. Lockbox have their own weird backlogs. USC's field offices have their own backlogs. So it's just too general a question to be able to answer. Shiny says, thank you, sir, answering PD. Can I expedite? You always, I don't know. I can't, I got to analyze your receipt notice to see what's going on there. Abdul says, how can we get I-130 visa faster? I-130 is not a visa, it's just a petition. We got to see what kind of I-130 petition is, where you're from, all that kind of stuff. Des says, can I, as a U.S. born citizen, apply for my immigrant brother for residency and citizenship? You apply for residency, but that's going to take 15 years plus. Abdul says, okay, I answered that. How long to get a working and child document through marriage? Depends on the case study, what's going on. A couple months probably for work permit. I don't know about travel. KS says, sir, I'm a U.S. citizen. I want to petition my father. My company laid off, so I apply for unemployment in fact on my petition. So for I-130, it doesn't matter what your income is. If your father's overseas, they'll need the affidavit of support stuff later, like a year and a half after filing and starting the case. And at that time, you may have a job, an income, or you get a joint sponsor. So you just deal with that when it comes. Okay, I have my green card approved prior to approval date. I had to return my green card. I don't know what's going on there. How long do I wait for OS-51 to be approved? I don't know, probably a couple of weeks. Murray says, how long does my payment plan have to be with IRS before I can apply for citizenship? There's no specifics, but they want to see you have a payment plan. You're abiding by it. So we got to see how much debt there is and just get a feel for it. Juvie says, hello, attorney. Is there backlog also on green card? For some green cards, there's some. For others, not. You're welcome, KS. Nimrod says, hey, for F41, expecting, I don't know what day it's going to be. Max says, this is one of the last questions we're going to answer today. Response from my brother's family. I'm a U.S. citizen. Yeah, file I-130 for the sibling, and that's that. Okay, let's see one more question. We'll go to YouTube. Okay, another question on YouTube right now. And I guess, that'll be it today. If you want to get more information about the marriage green card process, download the guide, marriageimmigrationlaw.com, www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com. If you want to schedule a meeting, consultation, or contact us, go to our contact us page on our website, jqqlaw.com/contact, jqqlaw.com/contact, and we'll take it from there. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Be safe. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.